Alright, so after about the 50th or so of these jobs, just recently I've decided to go ahead and make a video about this. It seems to be a really common misunderstanding of how to install equipment to protect your equipment over here at the pool pump. So let me switch it over here so you can see. Now, first of all, this pool is really complicated. It's got two different bodies of water that share the same body of water. I know that doesn't seem to make sense, but it's the case. This is the situation here that I keep running across, where, I mean, it used to be the builders didn't even put in a check valve in between the salt cell or whatever other chlorinator you might be using, but in between the salt cell and the heater here, because when the pump run shuts off, water flows back a little bit into the pipes over here at the heater, and that's where all your metal stuff is. It gets corroded, your heat exchanger. You end up needing a whole new heater just because you don't have a check valve, a proper check valve. This one here is anti-corrosion check valve. That's what you need to have installed here. I will show you later in the video the difference. I've done it before. You hold this up and water will flow through it in the way that it's supposed to stop it, and this will not, and that's how you know what makes the difference. Yeah, you can see and hear right here how the water is gurgling back. So it's percolating now. Whatever chlorine water was generated in there is going back into this heater and ruining it, and we've already seen this heater start to leak from the inside. This is a new account. I let them know as soon as we got on, and now we're doing I'm going to show you the difference between anti-corrosion check valve and a regular check valve, and why you shouldn't be putting regular check valves on heaters, only anti-corrosion check valves. Now you can look inside, see the different, maybe you can see the different kind of plugs, but this one, even though I just cut it out to replace it, isn't in all that bad a condition. But you'll see what happens when I fill it up with water. This is the way it's supposed to prevent water from going down the bottom of this. But as you see, it's allowing it all to run through. All that water is highly corrosive on the system because it's just before the salt cell. So all this is running back into the heater. Now, if I take this one, the anti-corrosion one, and dip it in there, you can see nothing. There's nothing going through. It's supposed to stop at 100%. Otherwise, it'll ruin your heater. And that's why we do it that way. Alright, so let's grab this new check valve. We'll put it on the system here where I just took this old check valve out of. We're just going to install it right in here. Now remember, when you're cutting old pipes, and if they painted them, you got to make sure to scrape them off. I found the best way to do it is put some primer on and then use a scraper here, 5-in-1. Just scrape off as much as you can, as good as you can, then prime it again. And then, like I said, I just finished this job right here, installing this heat check valve. It's an anti-corrosion check valve we installed here to prevent the corrosive gas from the chlorinator from flowing back into the heater. And that's probably about it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on now and see if my glue dried up good and make sure there's no leaks. Man, I just realized I forgot to record after I turned on that pump that there was no leaks, which there was no leaks. But here I am at the next job, which is basically the same type of job as the last job. Like I said, it's pretty common. So see, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and do the same sort of repair here and when I'm all done, I'm just gonna turn it on and video that one. So this is a new client for me, and what I do when I get new clients, I point out all the things that need to be done. Like, for example, air cleaner down there needed new tracks. That's something that we definitely try to keep up on. Whenever we notice that, we just go ahead and replace them. We keep them on our truck. And the job over here, of course. So it's a new client for me, and they just had that salt cell installed. And whoever installed that should know that you need to protect that heater from the salt cell, which is a chlorinator, because it's going to make chlorine gas. And without that anti-corrosion check valve in there that I just installed, it's going to ruin the heater. You got to replace the whole heater. So just wanted to point out how incredibly common it is for people to make this mistake and the various ways that they make this mistake. So this didn't have a check valve, whereas the last job did. It had one of those, which is the wrong kind, as opposed to the anti-corrosion, which is the right kind. Sorry, I'm finishing up the video that I just took. All right, just started this up.
Oh, you put it on already?
And we got no leaks.
So that's the thing you just
And
put
it's
on.
good to go. Yeah, I just got that fixed for you, and I'm just testing it out right now.
Did you have to extend it a little bit?